like it.
Well, hopefully everyone is all set out there in the crowd and in here in the game as we have given them the A-OK as we break into the picks and bans here of this tournament. Now, I'm interested to see if we're going to see some normal picks, same things that what the pros have been doing, or if we're going to see some abnormal picks, which is what I'm banking on because the tournament is platinum and below. Nobody's kind of seen or played in that higher tier of competitive play yet.
Tristana ban. Is this something I've missed out on? Or,
Well, recently, if I'm not mistaken, Tristana got a little bit of a rework on her Q, allowing her to use it at no cost.
That's true. That is true. They actually completely removed the mana cost, which actually makes her pretty powerful.
I gotta say, it's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, definitely. So, other than Tristana, and Ryze actually also being quite an unusual ban, but seeing a lot of play in the top lane at the moment. Other than that, we're just seeing some very standard bans, and we're seeing Jarvan, who's probably going to be played by Rupture Jarvan.
I was gonna say, there's no way that you can have a name of Jarvan and not play Jarvan. I mean, come on now. Now, I do like the Vi and Wukong bans. Those so typical right now with just how powerful those champions are. And Thresh, god tier support, of course. Gragas, anyone who doesn't know, possibly getting a bit of a rework here in the next few weeks.
Oh, really? How so?
They're looking to redo his barrel roll so that the longer you keep it out there, it'll actually slow an opponent's movement speed as opposed to the attack speed. They're also making his belly bump into a stun and a semi-knockback, plus his Drunken Rage is going to be cast even while he's moving and give him a next one-time auto attack bonus, basically damage. So we're going to have to see the good old-fashioned tank or AD Gragas like in the good old days, and then his ultimate's getting nerfed to just the cooldown. At least that's the talks. That's what they're looking to do.
Yeah, that sounds very interesting. Hopefully they will nerf his Q scaling a bit, because in my opinion it's a bit too high, but maybe that's just me.
A 0.9, that's huge.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Either way, we're seeing Leona and Renekton, pretty standard picks at the moment. Renekton, will he ever fall off?
I don't know. No matter what they try to do reworking him, quote unquote, they never actually do anything to affect him. Renekton players, sorry, always have a way of using a skill auto-attacking, increasing his damage just exponentially, and even if you hit his base stats, it's still the fact that he's an immovable wall that stuns, does a ton of AoE damage, and he's a giant alligator. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, I mean, he's an alligator, so how could you even possibly nerf him? Yeah, we're just seeing very generic stuff right now, but it's interesting. Morgana, in the LCS, she got a lot of play, especially with that Caitlyn Morgana, and she most prominently has been used as a hard counter to Leona, and this is probably why she got picked this quickly in this game. Not only, of course, a lot of people know this, her CC shield basically makes champions utility supports like Leona, Blitzcrank, sometimes Thresh too, I guess you could say, but especially Leona, considering she's all about the CC. Not only this though, when Leona uses her grab, or whatever, I don't know,
the Zenith Blade.
The Zenith Blade, there you go. And the target with the shield does not get stunned, but she does get dragged onto that champion, which means it's an excellent way of baiting someone out for a gank or just to get an upper hand. So most of the time it's just a very, very good pick against her.
Absolutely, and it's going to be nice to see in the teamfight stages that black shield put down on the Jinx, so the Orianna is going to stop the Pantheon stun, it's going to stop Renekton stun, it could potentially, if they lock in here with LeBlanc, stop a silence. Like, huge amounts of utility that shield brings.
Well, stop a silence perhaps, but I don't know. I think LeBlanc will be able to break the shield before the silence goes off. I don't exactly know how the mechanics on that work.
Now, we see that Team Rupture here going with a little bit of a wombo combo. They have the Jarvan ultimate with Orianna combo. So Jarvan goes in, flag pulls, and then all of a sudden, oh, you best be ready because there's a command shockwave dissonance gonna happen.
Yeah, definitely combos like these are really good to have in a team composition. Some combos are harder to pull off than others. Jarvan plus Orianna, in my opinion, is one of the easiest. You know, you just put the ball on Jarvan, and the Rupture is just an on hit. You just click a target and it happens. It's a very easy way to set up a very good team fight. And as you can see, if they get a lot of people in that circle, they have a lot of AoE. Like, they have the Jinx with just a small utility with the traps. Of course, the huge ultimate from Mega Death Rocket as well. Got the... and most importantly, you got the Morgana with the incredible utility. And through late game, actually gains some pretty neat damage as well.
Absolutely. The best part is Morgana can put her Defile in the middle of the Jarvan ultimate, and everyone is going to have to stand in it, taking more magic damage for the Orianna to put down some more hurt, allowing Jinx to freely auto-attack everybody. And even if Morgana gets caught in the middle of everything, that's right where she wants to be. She pops an hourglass, boom, everyone once the ultimate drops from Jarvan is stunned. There's a lot of CC on Team Rupture, but taking a look at Gravity Academy, they have a lot of ways to pick people off. They have the Pantheon for the global presence, and LeBlanc, who's able to assassinate people and has such high mobility that if you step out of position for just a second, you're going to be in trouble.
Purple team definitely going for the more offensive rotation sort of team composition, while Orianna, Morgana, and all these types of champions most likely goes for a team fight heavy composition. We can see a lot of, as you said, champions being able to pick off individual targets. LB and Pantheon being the main sort of stars of that show. LB proves time and time again she's an amazing roamer. There's almost no one that can beat her, except for Kassadin, I guess. Even though he did take a pretty huge hit. And then, of course, the Pantheon with the ridiculous ult, which is basically non-counterable. So we'll see how they do. We'll see how they do things here.
Now, as always, we've seen so far with these games that it comes down to the lane phase. If you win in lane phase, they just start and push into team fights and just snowball these games so fast. Every time that we've watched, one team has indecisively just won it in lane and carried it through the game. However, this is coming down to the finals. These are the best teams out of the 16 we had. We're down to the final 8. And hopefully they can, even if they lose in lane phase, come back, hunker down, focus, and take a victory. Now, for the viewers, who do you guys want to see win here between Team Rupture and Gravity Academy? Let us know in the chat. Get a little support out there for the teams that you're going for. Personally looking, who are you feeling, Glios?
Ooh, that's a hard one, to be honest. It really depends on how the flow of the game goes. In my opinion, it might be the junglers who decide this. On both sides, we have very offensive junglers, both in the counter-jungling route and just the ganking route in general. Jarvan often just wants to get in those really early ganks and try to get their lane snowballing. But you also have that Pantheon, which basically does the same thing. And I don't know. I think it's gonna rely on who gets that gank in first, or if there will be any sort of counter gank. So I think a lot of this game is going to be determined while the game is still in the early stages.
Very true, and Pantheon being such a strong ganker with that guaranteed stun, all he's got to do is show up in the lane. Even if he flash stuns, if whoever he's ganking has enough damage, they're able to get a kill fairly easy. However, Jarvan has that same kind of ninja mentality. Flag, pull, pop you up, blow a flash. All he's got to do, walk away and come right back again. So interested to see if Jarvan will do what some of the pros do, which is come into lane, have a flash blow. They'll go get level 6, time out until your flash comes back up, and then gank you before that happens, and then you can't escape the ultimate. And
very true.
You're in for a
Unless
problem.
you have some sort of mobility, which LeBlanc does, which Lucian does, which Renekton does. Yeah. You know, they picked pretty well against the Jarvan here, I must say.
Now as we load on in, are we going to see any invades? We've seen a few. If I'm not mistaken, we've seen 2 so far come out in this tournament.
Yeah, not a lot. We've seen most teams decide to take a very passive route and just try to get a very steady start of the game. But I don't know. I think definitely it's on Pantheon's side when it comes to counter jungling, because they have that. I don't know. LB doesn't really have the best damage, but you do have the Pantheon stun if he levels that up first, and the Renekton stun. But to be honest, it's hard. Like Morgana's pretty strong. I can't really say anything on this one.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to put my money on an invade team, I'm gonna go with of course, Team Rupture here. They have that Morgana binding, which is enough CC to lock someone down. If Trundle started with Pillar, then immediately just blocking them off, or even could wall crit them, and well, then it's a GG right there.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
Good old-fashioned Trundle and Nivea wombo combo locking you in, and you don't go anywhere.
Have your champion spazzing out for a second.
We see just Team Rupture like spreading out, just keeping it nice and safe, and Gravity Academy doing the same.
Yeah, seems like we're just seeing a very passive start from both ends here. Again, aspiring solo queue players, note how these champions are positioned.
Absolutely.
They are scouting every entrance to the jungle. Very, very important. So we see Jarvan actually starting for the red, which probably signifies a very aggressive sort of playstyle for him for the next few minutes.
He wants to get up into top lane as quick as possible, and that's the same thing he knows. Pantheon needs blue. He's an absolute must blue start jungler, so they figure if Pantheon's going to start blue, Jarvan starts red, they both get up to top at the same time. It'll be a 2v2 fight, and that's where we'll see right around the 3 minutes, 15 seconds for both these junglers, where the tides will turn. If someone's going to pull on ahead or not. At least in that top lane.
So right now, we're not really seeing very much action from the bot lane here. Leona trying to take sort of an advantage position here. Leona likes to have that brush for herself, just to get that little extra bit of scary factor. The same thing as Blitzcrank does, basically. And right now, we're seeing Renekton just being a general bully, as always. But we're seeing Trundle actually doing pretty decently for himself there.
Absolutely, and Trundle's a great pick versus Renekton, because when Renekton comes in, he wants to have as much AD as possible to burst down his opponent, where Trundle says, oh, nice AD, I think I'll take some.
Oh, look at him, look at him.
There's the Jarvan coming into the top lane, wants to get the flagpole combo, and there we see the flash beautifully timed from Skydragon, and that is going to make sure that Rupture Jarvan doesn't get a kill at least. Oh, but in mid, we see Pantheon showing up, is able to get the stun, tons of damage going down, and Orianna using the barrier. However, first blood is going to be given to Chow Rice.
Very nicely played from the LeBlanc there. The chains just really perfectly done with a flash and such. And yeah, we're seeing some pretty aggressive starts here. Very importantly, Orianna flash and barrier completely gone. Very susceptible to ganks, especially with LeBlanc, that really sets up ganks pretty nicely.
Absolutely.
And also the Renekton flash, which is also gone, which means Jarvan will probably pay a visit level 6.
Now, the thing about paying a visit versus Renekton is, if he has Slice and Dice up, he's just going to spin out of it, no problem.
Definitely, but we did see the Jarvan actually wait out the slash and dash, slice and dice, I mean. Slash and dash.
I like slash and dash better.
Yeah, we should maybe tell
they're gonna
Riot.
catch onto the Lucian here.
Bad.
He's trying to get out, but he can't. Tons of damage coming down. There's the exhaust being used. Leona with the stun, but there's a barrier. This is gonna be enough to flash as well. Oh, but Morgana will take up the kill as they bind onto Leona. Rupture Jarvan here backing out with just a sliver of HP. Frenchie is gonna die to Lingo. What a beautiful play from Leona, knowing that, hey, this tower's gonna hit you. The stun combination is more than enough to rack the kill. Oh, but here's LeBlanc going down, and here's Dragon getting caught out, immediately silenced, isn't going to go anywhere as Chow Rice picks up kill number 2 for him now. And there's the LeBlanc roaming. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, Orianna not really known as the best roamer around. And, like, overall, I think that was, I mean, it was a generous play by the Jarvan. He tried to give the kill to the AD carry. As we see Pantheon, will this... No, it's thwarted. Jarvan really wanted Jinx to have that kill, so he stopped attacking the Lucian, and it sort of baited them into a worse situation that they needed to be in.
I absolutely agree, and this is where, in a team game, you want to try to give it to a carry, absolutely, but it's better to get a kill and get an assist for everyone than have what just happened there. Morgana ended up getting caught out, ended up dying, and turned a 1-for-0 situation that it should have been into a 1-for-1.
Well, 1-for-2, sort of considering. Oh,
and here we go.
Remember,
Jarvan
this is
showing up into the top
flash.
With the pop-up. They're trying to put the damage down, but can they slow him enough? We see the stun, and just like that, this alligator's gonna walk out.
They just don't have the damage yet, but once both Jarvan and the Trundle gets some damage, I'm guessing this Trundle is going for the standard Blade of the Ruin King rush.
Absolutely.
So we'll see some damage coming out from the Trundle pretty soon. Other than that, we're seeing Pantheon just actively looking for those ganks.
He wants
it's
to catch up
basically the
Zori.
only thing he's doing right.
He knows that the flash isn't there. He just wants her to step up, but she is not wanting to at all here.
Yeah, Orianna definitely scared of that 2-0 LeBlanc.
I would be too.
Something you should be scared of too, to be honest.
Oh, and there we go. They're right on in
go.
To the silence. Ton of damage, but not going to be enough. She's going to be able to walk out. And I want to take note to Leona's starting item. She started out with a health crystal, which to anyone who can see that in the lane, you know she's going to go crazy aggressive. And
Definitely.
She immediately rushed the Sightstone, which now gives her coverage of that bottom side and protects her carry so much. Now, she doesn't have a GP10 item for generating money, but not necessarily a bad thing or needed when you get the kills and assists.
Yeah, you really have to get those kills and assists though, because once you sacrifice that bit of gold that you usually get from your starting item, you gotta make something happen, or you're losing out on a lot of gold.
Absolutely, you gotta play big. We see Trundle in top. Could get dove from this
could be
Renekton.
bad.
There we go, there's the ultimate coming up from Renekton, and the Ignite! We see Sky Dragon picking up the kill on Magnets. How do they work?
Yeah,
How do they
there's
work?
the Renekton. There's the Renekton we know. Just always the dominant top laner, it seems. Like, it's very rarely you see just someone as Renekton getting completely stomped.
Unless you camp him. And you camp him hard.
I guess so. You need to camp him very hard, though. He just always seems to win lane somehow. I don't know how it works.
It's just that Renekton play.
So, this ball lane seems pretty, they seem pretty equal. It seems to be the jungler that's the deciding factor of how these fights go for the bot laners.
I agree. I mean, they're playing very well, and anytime action has happened, it's been with the assistance of a jungler, or in, this would be Gravity Academy's favor, it would be of a Blanc showing up and saying hello.
Oh, we're seeing Trundle actually doing some aggressive plays here. Now he has some lifesteal, so his...
Oh, there we go. Ancha Dragon here. There's the Solar Flare. Tons of damage going down here. The ultimate from Lucian. He is going to get binded down. and that is a great job from Dragon getting out, but there's the Grand Skyfall coming from Pantheon. The damage onto Frenchie, it's so much, but they're going to be able to pick up a kill on Godlift here as Jarvan continues the fight. Frenchie with the ultimate, DP level 6, there's a Super Mega Death Rocket, picking up 1, Jinx wants to get 2, going for the Leona, it's a double kill for Jarvan coming out in the bot lane.
Wow. That was great play by them. That was just such synergy as well. I'm pretty sure Morgana hit level 6 as that fight was going on.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And that was a great play, leveling up the ultimate and using it in the team fight.
Yeah. That's definitely something you need to. Oh wow, look at the Orianna.
Oh, and there we go. Orianna shielding herself, has the ignite ticking. Oh, LeBlanc is going to be able to dive in there, be able to use that sigil and pick up the kill. Walking on out, just throwing the clone out to scout, no big deal.
Or Orianna really feeling the wrath of a fed LeBlanc right now, and this LeBlanc is just gonna keep getting stronger and stronger, and she will probably start roaming once that tower goes down, and that's gonna be hell for the blue team.
Absolutely. But they did get a little bit of momentum picked up here as they want to go onto the Pantheon. But the junglers made a huge difference in that bottom fight, as we were saying all game, where it's going to be up to them to win the game for their team.
Yeah, and as we've seen, like, the lane seems rather equal at the moment, except for the mid lane, and most of that is because of the junglers, because they're both junglers who love just doing what they can early game, and that's what we've been seeing so far. Pantheon and Jarvan are pretty low on the CS right now because ganking has been their #1 priority so far.
And bot lane has to be super careful. Oh, what a beautiful dodge from LeBlanc says, no, Orianna, no ult for you. I'm just going to ult myself out of here. That was a great play. But bot has to be careful of the Jinx with double buff right now.
That's very scary. Jinx in general, very scary, but then you start putting in that red buff as well, and it gets really hairy after a while. As you can see, Trundle taking some harass here, but his Vamp Scepter and his passive is gonna make it so he can stay in lane indefinitely if he's careful enough.
Oh, and there we see Jinx just kiting along. Leona wants to make something happen. There's a Zenith blade that does miss, but Pantheon showing up. Morgana with the shackles. Is it going to be enough? They're going to lock up, but there's a solar flare. Picking up 2. Frenchie's forced to flash out. Lucian continuing the chase, but does get binded. And they're not going to dive as Gravity Academy picking up the kill.
There we see the absolute force of the Pantheon. Because there's no way you actually know the Pantheon's coming. Like, you may think that, oh, they're going very aggressively, but as soon as you see them going aggressively, it's too late. Pantheon is probably going to appear behind you in the matter of seconds. And escaping that is very, very hard.
Absolutely. That's the beautiful thing about Pantheon. He just has this presence about him where you're like, okay, I'm safe. No big deal. Big red circle shows up behind you and you just go, oh, I wish I had flash. I wish I had warded something. I wish I could have done something. But once it shows up, it's too late.
Like, yeah, the thing is you can't ward. He can ult from their lane, basically, and you're not going to have a ward there. So...
Or will you?
Or maybe. Well, most likely you won't have a ward there. And that's the deciding factor of Pantheon. As you can see, Pantheon is able to pull off more aggressive ganks than Jarvan, even though he's doing very well too now. Bot lane just couldn't even react to that gank.
Not even in the slightest. And the spell shield went out so early that Leona just had to wait for it to go down. Then the solar flare came up, caught both of them. Pantheon's already there, Heartseeker strike. Lucian's able to clean up kills. Very easy. And you can just see right there, that's how Renekton trades as Orianna gets engaged on in mid. Barrier being used very early from Zeus. Yeah. Now he's got to keep in mind that he doesn't have flash or barrier, and if he gets engaged in again, to LeBlanc, she's probably going to die.
Yeah, questionable barrier. I'm pretty sure LeBlanc did not have any kill pressure there, just a bit of harass, or I don't know, harass on LeBlanc's level at least.
Yeah, that's all it was. Just harass, and that full combo already went off. Once the chains come out, LeBlanc can only follow it up with another sigil. That's it.
Yeah. And she will have a problem actually activating that sigil as well. So there's not a lot of damage to be feared, considering she is a very burst type mage, but it's hard to survive that initial barrage of just never-ending silences and chains and
damage. Now, I did want to point out how Renekton is using his combo in top lane. You can see that he just is bullying out Trundle, but Trundle has the sustain, so every time Renekton pushes it up, he's got the Tiamat, so it is going to splash onto all the minions, keeping Trundle at his tower. Very easy for him to farm under there. But Renekton goes in, slices, stuns, procs the Tiamat, Qs, and dices out. No big deal.
Yeah.
And harasses his Trundle all day long.
Trundle basically not having any chance of retaliation, and we're actually going to see the top turret just fall here. Yeah.
It's going to be the first turret here. Gravity Academy picking it up, getting a little bit ahead there now in the gold.
This bot lane is so passive.
It's again coming down to these junglers.
Yeah. Reason to this being so passive, it's a Leona lane, you would expect a lot of action, but the Morgana just completely ruins Leona's plans for that lane. And passive is probably what what Rupture wants to happen, you know? Because that's what they picked.
Very true.
So, I think it's probably going according to plan to the blue team, but Pantheon is making it pretty hard.
Look at that Jinx range, just sniping that ward out. Beautifully done. They toss a ward and they're like, oh hey, we're just gonna make sure that dragon's still there. Free gold. Nice, take it, Jinx.
Actually shooting from beyond the dragons in there. I've never seen that done before.
That's the first time right there. Talk about knowing your champion's range. And look at Orianna. She's building magic resist beyond magic resist, and she still gets bursted to half HP.
Yeah, look at that. That's a Chalice of Harmony and a Negatron Cloak. How much MR does she have right now? She has 107 MR. That's pretty great. She does not have damage at all, though.
Or health.
That's gonna be a problem. Or health, for that matter. She's just trying not to die at this point.
One thing for anyone out there, if you're playing in the top lane, the first thing you want to do is rush an HP item as opposed to a resistance item. Because if you don't have the HP to survive, there's no point having the resistances. They are going to go onto bottom here. They are going to catch Lingo. There's the pull from Jarvan. Isn't going to land, but the flash from Lingo is going to beat up the Solar Flare. Locking down Frenchie. He's going to drop, but there's the Super Mega Death Rocket from Dragon, picking up the kill on Lingo. So they trade out 1-to-1, support for support. No big deal. Oh, and here's the teleport coming from Trundle, the pop-up, but there's LeBlanc showing up for the party, and no one wants to get something to happen. Jarvan taking incredibly low, is going to be forced to flash out. And both teams wanting to back away here, and don't want to overcommit. Don't want to die.
Now, okay, so if I'm correct, considering Trundle used his teleport on an allied turret, it actually reduces the cooldown. Am I correct?
Does it? I have not used teleport in a long time. That is a great question.
Yes, they buffed teleport. If you use it on an allied turret, it actually reduces the cooldown to 200 seconds instead of 300.
Oh, well.
So that's pretty good. So Trundle actually used that to his best of knowledge. That's a change coming from the recent patch, so it's pretty new. We're seeing Leona getting cash out there, but I don't think anything... maybe?
Jinx
Pantheon's coming though.
Jinx is putting some hurt down. They're just letting Leona know that, hey, you're not the big man on campus. I'm Morgana. I'm here.
Oh!
You best be ready.
What? Barrier again? Yeah.
LeBlanc already with the Deathfire Grasp, and we see Magnets getting caught out here, but Leona not able to land the Zenith Blade, and the Binding and Zap is going to push Gravity Academy away here, but all members of both teams down around the Dragon Pit want to make something happen.
Probably going to see a dragon fight here pretty soon. Now, if there's one thing to think about, it's blue team's disengage. You have the Pillar, you have the Morgana Q, you have the slows from Orianna, and the ult if you want that as well, and the traps from Jinx. So it's pretty hard for purple team to really catch them off guard.
Absolutely. But here goes purple team going in onto the dragon as Trundle's in top. I do not believe Rupture is going to be able to rotate fast enough as this dragon just evaporated.
Yeah, interesting play by the Trundle there to actually go back to top lane. So that's basically an uncontested dragon for the purple team, and right now, about 1.5k. Like it's very close, as far as gold goes so far.
It's nice to see that neither team really rolling in the lane phase. A couple of champions that they got to worry about, such as the 3-0 LeBlanc, but she's not made any more big plays once getting this fed. But now with that Deathfire Grasp, she can go up to anybody and instantly half health them.
Interesting point to note, Orianna, though she did get rolled, considering LeBlanc did get a few kills outside of her lane, her CS is very impressive. Like, she did a very good job just not getting zoned out when it came to the CS.
Absolutely, and only an 800 gold difference separates those two. That is mere peanuts. Now, though it is a lead, it's still not something that is incredibly considerable.
So we see the DFG picked up from the LeBlanc from a while ago, and that's where LeBlanc's damage really spikes. Considering it's a percentage damage, she's basically increasing her, wow, look.
Here we see in top, both these members wanting to duke it out. Magnets putting some hurt on a Sky Dragon, but there's a Pantheon ultimate. Oh, and there's Magnets dropping down so fast from Insta-Noodle as Jarvan gets caught by his own ultimate. Renekton with the slice and dice. He's gonna get out with the skin of his teeth as Orianna is going to fall to the LeBlanc here. So close, wow. And there's a Super Mega Death Rocket trying to snipe him back in the top lane, not going to be enough. And that was a great play from Gravity Academy, picking up 3 kills for nothing.
Yeah, Renekton definitely having control of that situation. He did not know that Jarvan was on his way, but he knew the Pantheon was jungling nearby, and he did know that he had the ult, so if anything hairy happened, he did always have that backup, which is very important. So just very nicely played from the purple team, and now we're seeing a slight lead coming in from the team here, and we'll see if they manage to take hold of it.
Yeah, Gravity Academy having now 2 towers, slowly getting that gold increase up after that awesome play in the top lane. Dragon's not going to be up for a while. Next big objective is either going to just be team fighting, pushing down for a tower, or if they can go for a semi-early Baron. Hope they catch onto the Leona here. There's the Morgana with the shackles. Is it going to be enough to Echolution getting out of there? They want to just turn and go on to Lingo, but there's a nice separation. However, is she going to be able to run? There's the snipe, popping the cork and the life of the Leona here. Great job from Rupture Dragon, picking up the kill on Lingo.
Some smart decision making there on who they decided to focus. They did try to kill the Illusion, but eventually just saw that the Leona was a much easier kill. So I think that was a very smart decision of them.
And that was a great job for Morgana starting the fight and instantly separating the support from the AD carry. Once they separate, there's nothing. It's a 2v1 situation, regardless of who they go on. Oh, and there's a flash shot on Pantheon, and that bottom tower being taken up here.
Yeah, the ultimate from
but Jarvan actually going in onto Frenchie. Is it going to be enough? There's the flash going over, picks up the kill. Now they're going on to Dragon, and there we see Chow Rice picking up 1 kill on Frenchie. And then, of course, Godlift picking up the kill on the Dragon.
Now, this is what we talked about. Purples just single target, just being able to catch someone out is really shining right now. Sure, Blue did take a tower, and they did siege very well, but they have a Pantheon and an LB. It's so hard to deal with. They're everywhere, and once they're there, you can't really fight them because early to mid is where they shine. It's where they want to make all those plays, and right now they're doing that.
Absolutely. And they're just making sure that they can capitalize on this lead that they have. And all they need to do at this point is just group up and push. They have the double assassin characters. LeBlanc fed out of her mind right now, rushing that Void Staff as her next item. So no matter how much magic resist you build from here on out, she's going to keep penetrating it. Next will probably be an Hourglass. And then of course you have Pantheon, who's got the Black Cleaver to reduce everybody's armor, for Renekton to do even more damage, for Lucian to do even more damage. And all they have to do is go into a lane, have Pantheon show up in the back, and watch the magic happen.
So far though, even though it seems like Purple having a pretty huge lead, double the kills, the goal lead still isn't that, like, it's getting there, but overall, a team fight, I would still go 50-50. Because Purple needs to catch someone out, in my opinion. If Blue gets that nice initiation of a team fight that they want, it might get really hairy for them. And, well, we'll see if they manage to prepare that well.
There's the dragon coming up here. In the 2 seconds, showing up live. This is where the teams want to make something happen. And something to keep in mind, pretty much Purple team, everyone is up a Giant's Belt right now.
Jinx actually started the dragon for Purple there. That's pretty nice of her. Oh, it seems like they're gonna back off here. Purple playing very scared considering their position right now.
Absolutely. All they gotta do is catch somebody out. They have 4 members shown around the blue area with LeBlanc up north, looking for an assassination as they give that blue buff over to the Lucian here. And see, there's the Renekton going on in, wants to catch somebody. There's the Pantheon with the ultimate. French again taken incredibly low. He's going to be forced to get out. Oh, and there's the Orianna ultimate, not hitting anybody. A Sky Dragon taking a half HP. Instant Noodle using the Heartseeker Strike, putting down everyone's armor. There's the Jarvan in the background, locking everybody down. So much going. There we see Rupture Dragon picking up the kill on Instant Noodle, going in with the double kill. Now is the passive procs, looking for more. Orianna picking up the kill, as here we see the turnaround from LeBlanc, sniping the kill onto Jarvan. Lucian gotta run away, but Godlift is gonna be taken down from Magnets, and that is a huge turnaround from Team Rupture, and an ace, and now a dragon pickup.
Wow. Now, this is what I talked about. Gold difference, sure, but wow, did Blue Team show what they are capable of. Orianna not even hitting anyone with her ultimate didn't really matter. They just completely rolled over the team, and Jinx being a very, very good AD carry if you're rolling. Just the passive, start running with a Mega Death Rocket. You catch a lot of people, and that's exactly what happened there. And I'm pretty sure they're going to get a turret, and of course the dragon as we saw. That is huge, and they will actually get the lead in gold here. Pretty surprisingly.
Oh, how the turntables, or the tables have turned. That was a fantastic fight. They brought it down to a bottleneck in that bottom tri-bush, which allows for everyone to put down the tons of AoE that they have. Orianna's able to still use the command attack and the distance. You have Jinx for the Super Mega Death Rocket, Morgana with the Defile. Jarvan was locking down everybody so they couldn't go anywhere, and Jinx just switches to rockets and goes, oh, that's cool, eat some splash damage. Picking up the kills, and just like that, the game can turn around. Though the kills are different, we see that Rupture has that nice lead of just a few hundred gold, but it's a lead nonetheless.
Yeah, definitely right now, it's getting very scary for Purple. Because, first of all, mid-game is coming to a close, and they had a lead and they lost. Now it's equal grounds. How are they gonna fare? Like, oh,
there's LeBlanc on
very aggressive play. Whoa!
Oh, is it gonna be enough? We see Dragon getting caught out, but Lingo flashes right into a trap, does get the lockdown. However, that beautiful spell shield is gonna be enough to allow Dragon to walk out, but Frenchie's taking incredibly low. As they want to go in, there's Jarvan with the lockdown, putting two. Lingo, Sky Dragon stuck in there, but Jarvan's taking incredibly low. There's the shockwave coming out from Oriana, as we see Zeus picking up the kill. Frenchie's so low, as there's the LeBlanc trying to run away, but she's gonna get taken out from Rupture Dragon, and they're continuing on, looking for the triple kill. Is she gonna be able to get it? Dragon needs the auto attack. Can they find it, Dragon? I think DC's and Magnet is gonna pick up the kill. Wow, Dragon DC is in the middle of the fight. Just stands there and says, no, I don't need any more kills. I'm totally fine. Someone else take it.
That's pretty great. Oh, now Rapture, they're in a very good position. I'm pretty sure they're very confident now. They've won like what, three fights in a row.
Absolutely.
And they're on a roll, and their team, it looked really bad for them, but poof, suddenly a very good fight at Dragon, and everything changed, and that's why I love this game.
That's all it takes. You can't get too safe with the lead that you have, because League of Legends is also known as League of Throws. All it takes, one team fight that's lost, a second team fight that's lost, a third, and it's over. Goodbye, they start pushing, taking towers, taking inhibitors, and everything changes.
Definitely. So, right now, I think Purple's next objective, it's hard to say. They don't have the best sieging composition.
Not at all. What they need to do is keep laning until Team Rupture is ready to team fight. Once that happens, that's where Gravity Academy underneath a tower is going to be able to pull this game back a little bit. They need something else to help them out. They need the benefit of having LeBlanc able to assassinate, or having a tower there to put down some extra damage, or even a Baron to have everyone take amplified magic damage. They need something, because right now they keep fighting in these bottleneck situations and they keep losing.
Yeah, it's not looking very nice for them at the moment, and I think they just gotta focus on catching someone off guard.
Oh, there we see the Shirelius going in, immediately going in, blowing up Jinx in an instant, and Frenchie is gonna die. Oh, and they see onto Zeus, there's the stun, tons of chain CC, the flash coming out. Is it gonna be enough? No! Insert God lift, boom, boom, lifting it up for a kill.
Now we came, we might have just a pause. Rupture perhaps wanting to recollect, because that was amazing,
and
like
it happened so fast.
No, even I wasn't even really able to comprehend what happened there, and like we came into this game. You told everyone in the stream we've seen a lot of stomps.
Absolutely.
This is by no way a stomp. This has been so back and forth, and this
is
there
we see Jarvan going on in here, but they don't have any damage to back it up. They're just trying to force off Gravity Academy from the tower, and look at that, two-man stand, forcing them back, only taking up the one, and they're gonna back off here.
I'm loving this game. To be honest, like, there's so many good plays from both of the teams, and right now, it's come to the point where I want both teams to win. Whoa, Leona.
Oh, there's Lingo getting caught out. Hopefully she's not window shopping, and definitely not. She's gonna walk out here.
Pretty, see the Lucian with the chair. That's lovely.
And it's two bottles.
Yeah, yeah. Why not? I want both teams to win right now, because they're both just shown such great plays, and I'm really impressed. So far, very, very nice quality game. Is Jarvan gonna get out of this?
There's Noodle getting stuck here, dodging the binding. They are gonna be going on to Frenchie. Oh my goodness, the damage as Chowrice picking up the kill on Frenchie here. There's the flash out. They're gonna lock down to Orion. Do they want to fight? There's the solar flare catching up. The flash from Lucian goes in. Godlift with the damage, but Chowrice with the kill. And they're going on to Dragon. There's the Mantheon. Gonna land perfectly. However, Dragon with the beautiful reaction time is gonna flash on out. Has the traps. There we go. and is able to disengage as Dragon now live. And there we see Gravity Academy going to be picking it up. No problem.
Now Purple is doing what their team composition is made for. They're catching people off guard. And Rupture, they're letting them doing it. They're letting them do it. And it's really falling apart. I mean, I could say that, but they're still pretty close when it comes to gold. And the carries, like the gold is all in the right place. So it's still very much up in the air. And I'm just excited to see any more plays that's going to come out of this game.
Now, both plays that have happened for Gravity Academy have come from that Leona, using the Orb of Ascension with her Mobo Boots. Makes her so fast. She's able to gap close onto any target she wants. She goes in, Zenith Blade, Solar Flares the backline, locks everybody down. That gives time for Renekton to get into position, for LeBlanc to blow somebody up instantaneously, for Pantheon to lay down the stun, and Lucian the whole time is never touched because his whole team is in front of Team Rupture. And they just got to continue doing that here if they want to pick up the victory.
Yeah. So, right now, we're seeing people sliding towards Baron. And considering how close this game is, a Baron fight would be ridiculous. It's all going to be about the positioning, how the fight is initiated. It's going to be a lot of factors coming into who's actually going to win this fight here, if anything's going to happen.
Absolutely, and the ward coverage is going to make or break it 100%. If you can see the enemy coming and you can see where they're rotating from, you have the advantage because then you can counter position yourself to get ready to fight them.
Yeah. So, right now we're just seeing some very...
it's that standstill.
There's a lot of there's a lot of respect from both teams right now. They're both seeing that they don't mess around, and both teams have shown that they can win a team fight. So there's no one being cocky right now. They just want to be very cautious and get in that golden opportunity.
And this is where, right now, Jinx is the highest priority target on Team Rupture. Is incredibly fed, doing so much damage that if they catch her out, they can win any of these fights. And that's all they need to focus on. This front line needs to dive super hard in the back line to lock her down, all the while having Leona or somebody stay back, or have Lucian kind of defend himself.
Rupture doesn't have a lot of damage. Orianna doesn't have the best damage right now, and Trundle just being a tanky, bruisery sort of champion, and same with Darwin. It's Jinx that does all the main damage here. While, like, you see on the other team, you have LeBlanc, you have Lucian, you have Pantheon, and you have Renekton. They have a lot of sources of damage, so they can afford to lose a few champions in their team fights. We might see a fight break out here.
Oh, there we go. Standing on top of a ward. There's Sky Dragon gonna get taken down to half HP as Pantheon starts out with the ultimate. However, in the back we see Rupture Dragon. It is so low, and is he gonna be able to fall? Oh my goodness! There's the Zeus ultimate from Orianna, and they're gonna pick up one to Lucian over the wall. Picks up the snipe kill. Godlift killing Dragon as we see Morgana falling, and it is Magnets taking on two. There's Lingo coming up. Can he do it? No, and that's a triple kill coming out of Godlift, and he is doing just that right now, lifting his team to this victory, slowly but surely.
Yeah, Lucian's late game, by far one of the best of any AD carry, because his double crits from his passive become ridiculous very, very quickly. And with the Triforce, you have the Sheen, and you have all these procs and all the silly nonsense. It's very hard to ignore that damage. And it just gets worse and worse. He does not stop scaling. And right now, it's looking quite hairy for Rupture.
Oh, but are they gonna catch on the instant noodle? He's trying to run away. He wants to get to the wall. He's looking for the flash, and he does get it. Ooh. And a beautiful ascension from Morgana. Or from... KO, Papa Cork. Rupture Dragon says, Pantheon, take this with you. You can't go anywhere. Bye-bye.
We may see a Baron attempt. We have 35 seconds on the Pantheon. They might be able to do something with this, but it might be very, very risky. They know that they're there. Vernekton is there, ready to do anything there. Yeah, he's very, very ready. And as you can see, his ult is up. The Lucian is there.
Yeah, but that Baron is melting, and they do have the smite. No Pantheon. There's LeBlanc going on in. The Soul Shackle's coming out. Oh, and we see Frenchie dying to Godlift as the Baron is up, but blue team is going to be able to pick it up. There's the Jarvan with the ultimate locking him in as we see Dragon getting caught out. He is split away from the team, trying to fight, trying to do the damage. Focuses out the wrong one as Magnets picks up the kill on the block, but now it is just Magnets versus 3 members of Gravity Academy, and he's going to get taken out as he goes for Godlift, but the ace and Godlift picking up the kill on the Magnets. How does it work? Dear goodness, we have no idea.
That's brutal. And that's going to be a free inhibitor for their team there. That's very, very important, especially in the mid lane, having that extra pressure. Pantheon actually bolting in here.
They could go for a game end.
Maybe?
Or
they
at least take one tower
seconds before any reliable source of counter pushing comes into play here. I think they're just going to try to end it.
We're looking, there's the damage on the tower. There's one that's dropping as they focus it out. Here's the second one. That looks like it's it. Lucian using the ultimate, not necessarily needed. There's the solar flare coming down. Is it going to be enough? But nope, not even close. Gravity Academy taking up the first win of the night here.
Wow, impressive. That was a great game.
Fantastic. Back and forth game. Everyone playing incredibly well.
I loved it, yeah. Yeah, that was definitely something we haven't seen yet. It's just a very, very clean, a very close game. And there was no stomping. I mean, of course, at the end, there has to be some sort of stomping. But overall, it was so back and forth. It was so fun to watch. And yeah, Gravity Academy and Team Rupture, very, very well played. Thank you for giving us a very entertaining game there. And yeah,